Hey folks, you ever had one of those days when you don't know if you could really explain to people what you did? Well, today was one of those days at Ag in the Classroom. A couple of big things that we've done today. First off, our books John Deere, that's who, and A Seed is a Start, they came in. So we've got those all packaged up and ready to be shipped out today. Look for those next week as long as you paid for them and you selected the shipping option. Next, we've also bundled up, if you look behind me, all of these boxes behind us are filled with 25 of each of our species posters for our cuts of meat posters. Okay, so you're each getting a pack of 25 if you come and pick them up. Otherwise, we'll deliver them to you in May. It's going to cost around $16 to ship those. We priced it out. It'll be about $16 UPS, your charge if you want to. What's happening now is everyone is getting a set of one each. We're mailing those today, so you'll look for those early next week. That's a sample of those. So you'll have a sample of the posters of the cuts of meat: lamb, chicken, beef, and pork. All right, every county gets 25. Good for Schuyler County, bad for Cook County. But here's the deal. We are bringing one each for every Summer Ag Institute participant. So don't worry about saving for them. Don't worry about saving them for the ag teachers. We're going to deliver one to the ag teachers at the IAVAT conference. Also, we're mailing them to all the Adopt a Classroom teachers, so those are covered as well. So think about that. We will be placing more in inventory later on, and you can order those at your own cost. Next up, I want you to think ahead to the May meeting. Here's a couple of things we've got planned. First off, we're going to talk a little bit about evaluations, what you can do and how you can evaluate your program. As you begin to do this, one thing I'll caution you on is don't ask anything you don't want to know the answer to. That's the key to anything in evaluation. So if you're going to ask an open-ended question, hey, what can I do? And they want you to talk about peanuts and popcorn, that's what they're going to expect. So first rule of any kind of good evaluation is don't ask the question you don't want to know the answer to. Next up, we're also going to talk about an introduction to your program. So I want you to stop and think about if you had to give a 30-second introduction speech to anybody about what your program at your county does, that's what we're going to talk about. We have a number of new coordinators that don't know what goes on in other counties. We're going to do that. Plus, we're going to talk a little bit about Born, Built, and Grown. Finally, you all got the note about St. Francis University taking over it's the University of St. Francis, USF, University of St. Francis, taking over our graduate course. So big deal for us. A couple of things that I wasn't able to convey in the email. Number one, this will be a temporary course number for the next year. If this goes well, and they expect it to, they will then offer us the opportunity to have a full-time course number that students working toward a master's in teaching and learning can use in that master's degree program. There are some issues this year. I understand that. Number one, we are not taking any new instructors. And number two, we really need to tighten up our ship and make sure that everyone who says they're an instructor is there full time. I'll be addressing those frequently asked questions that I've already received in a group email here in the next week or so. But I am really excited about the opportunity to work with the University of St. Francis. Aurora University had over 240 partners. St. Francis has taken 8 of those. Whereas Aurora offered thousands of courses and had thousands of syllabuses. We're one of those 8 programs. They're going to be offering 20 courses this summer. So we're very fortunate to be able to work with them. That's because of the great work you guys do at the county level. With that, we'll let you go and look for these exciting new resources coming in the mail shortly. Thanks a bunch.